evidence, and so I could get my statement down on site. There's an ambulance approaching, so I'll talk to them in a second. There's a dead body on my lawn. Somebody walked by and told me, a young lady walked by and told me, there's a person sleeping on your lawn there, and they were actually in the street right there, and I saw that the person wasn't breathing when I finally went out. My music was loud, so I don't know how long they were out there, but I immediately administered CPR, chest compressions, mouth to mouth. I ran inside and got a Narcan and ran back and continued the chest compressions and breathing. And the ambulance is coming, so I'm flagging them down with the light. I don't really know the person. I know their name. It's only somebody I say hi to in the street or in the hot springs. I don't know their last name or anything like that. I'm gonna leave this video on. Hi. I put it right there. I put a little bit of stuff around because I didn't want anybody to panic when they drove by. Yeah. I guess this is gonna be a while. Yeah. It's the worst call I ever made to you guys. I wrapped him up in a blanket right here. I found him about 20 feet down the road here. A young lady was out. I had my music on really loud inside. I came out to take a leak. A young lady walking past said, "Hey, there's a guy sleeping in your yard." I came out to check, and I saw the person wasn't breathing. So I immediately started CPR, mouth-to-mouth chest compressions. Was already pooling fluids. So I ran inside. I got a Narcan, came back, applied the Narcan. Yeah, I put stuff around them because I don't want people to panic on the way, until you guys got here. Yeah, he was already starting to pool, but he was warm. So I gave CPR anyway, and I did a Narcan anyway. And I Narcaned him, continued CPR and chest compressions, no heart rate, no breathing. I don't have a phone, so I had to go inside again after I was sure he was not savable. Yeah, it's not a person I hang out with or anything. I only know their name is Stoney. That's what they go by. I only really say hi to them like on the way to the hot springs. I'm sure they have a family. I wish I would have found them a little earlier. I feel like if I would have found them 20 minutes earlier, there didn't appear to be any obvious injuries. I always assume it's an overdose. That's why Narcan, just in case. But he was pooling when I found him. I mean, inside the skin, and not, Yeah, I didn't remove anything from the body. No jewelry, no ID, nothing. I left everything there.
And you said you only know him going by Stoney?
Yeah, that's the only thing I can tell you about him is they go by Stoney.
You didn't see him out here earlier today?
No, I haven't actually seen them in a month. I only say hi to them on the way to the hot springs. Otherwise, I would have went to their camp or called. But all my neighbors are moving, so that's empty. The next 3 are empty. I'm the only one here. I don't know if he was coming to me for help or he was on his way to the hot springs.
He was just laying here?
No, I dragged him in here. He was right on the side of the road, just barely on the road, like maybe 15 feet in front of. I'll show you right here. I found him right here. Right around here. And I saw he wasn't breathing. Yeah, right around here. I carried him to the about 20 feet, and then I dragged him into the sand.
How come you didn't get here?
Because I didn't want to get stuck in the sand. He was heavy. I didn't want to get stuck in the sand.
I know, but why not just come here instead? What's your purpose of taking him?
Because I wanted him to be in front of my house so I could go run and get Narcan. I mean, it wasn't probably the smartest thing. I probably could have left him here and ran and get Narcan fast, but I just picked him up, and it was pitch black. I did not have a light at the time.
You actually carried him?
I actually put him over my shoulder, yeah. I carried him about that far. And then I was like, okay. It was pitch black. I didn't know, I couldn't see my house.
Okay.
Yeah, as soon as I dragged him in there.
What did he use?
I have no idea. I don't even know him. I always assume it's an overdose. So I gave him a Narcan anyway, and I gave him lots of mouth and chest compressions twice before and after the Narcan, but I didn't get any kind of response. Yeah. I dropped him like right about here, and I just dragged him in, and yeah. It was pitch black. I couldn't see anything, so I didn't want to get hit by a car. I didn't want him to get hit by a car.
If you saw him OD, man, it's cool.
No, I didn't. No, I call you guys all the time. I'm the only one who does. Luis.
Luis what?
Araña. Araña. A-R-A-N-A.
Like a spider?
Yes, that's my real name. Yeah. A lot of people say that. I do a lot of first aid here, and I have Narcan and things like that. I'm not sure. Like I said, the only time I ever speak to this person is saying hi on the way to the hot springs. So I'm not sure if they were going to the hot springs or were they coming to me for help. My music was very loud.
That position like that?
I found him on his on his side over here. That's why. So a lady came. I wish I would have known because I didn't pay attention, and it was pitch black. I'm telling you. But somebody walked past. My music was really loud. I came out to take a leak over here, and some lady said, "Hey, there's a guy sleeping on your lawn."
Give me 1 second.
Wendy, dog out. I feel terrible for them. Yeah, all I know is that their name is Stoney. I don't even know what camp they're from or anything. I thought they were gone for the summer because I haven't seen them in at least a month. Yeah, I called you guys and then I put stuff around them because I didn't want some person walking past and freak out. But there's another witness possibly at the hot springs because the lady walked this way. She's the one who told me. I was out there. I was taking a leak out there, and a lady said, "Hey, there's a guy sleeping there." Stoney, S-T-O-N-E-Y. That's all I know. I don't know their real name or even where they live or anything. I do a lot of medical evacs and 5150s and those kind of things out here, so I'm comfortable calling the cops, but most people are not. For something like this, you call the cops. I wish I would have found him 20 minutes earlier because it was still warm. And I know if I would have Narcan him CPR'd him, I could have stayed on CPR while you guys got here, and the person would have lived. So that breaks my heart that I was that close to the person. I mean, people die out here. My Ruby died back there a couple of weeks ago, but Ruby, there's a person who lived in a bunker out there. She died also. Yeah, you guys know about it. I didn't call that one in because it happened outside of Slabs. It happened like on the way to the store or something. But yeah, this is the second neighbor that I've lost this summer. I lost 2 last summer also. But I don't even know exactly where they live. Or I would go tell their campmates and go tell their family. That's why I don't mess with it. And there's no visible injury. It has to be overdose. Yeah, it's just breaking my heart because they have a family. And if I would have just found them earlier, but I was in there listening to music, he could have been there for hours. I don't know how long they were there. And people assume he's sleeping because I let people sleep on my lawn, so people assume he was sleeping. As I called you guys, I started taking video, but I didn't take video of the body because out of respect for the family. But yeah. I'm glad. I don't have a phone that works. I had to go in there and charge a phone. And I know that a phone with no SIM card is still called 911. I fixed phones, thank God. Otherwise, I would have. All these are empty because people are moving. So the closest neighbor is like all the way down there. I want to do better because I do a lot of first aid and first responder out here. What could I have done better, guys? I do a lot of first aid. I prayed with him and everything. What can I have done better? Because I want to get better at this. I do a lot of first responder out here. What could I have done better? Should I have not moved them after? Like, I didn't want him to get hit by a car. It was pitch black. Like, I couldn't even see my house. It was pitch black. Like, should I not have covered him? I just want tips because I want to be better at this. This is a serious job. That's a person.
All right, thank you, sir, for everything.
Yeah,
Appreciate
yeah.
it.
Man, that's the first time I called that in. I Narcaned a few people, they all live. This one is the first one I lost. In the nose, I had the nasal one. Yeah, the instant one. I ran inside and got it. After I seen he wasn't coming, I ran inside and got it, and then I did more CPR after, at least for like maybe 8 minutes total. And then I said, no heart rate, no breathing. His brain is gonna be gone. And he was already pulling fluids, so I knew he was there. I don't know how long he was there, y'all tell me. Yeah, man, that sucks, but he was warm. That's why I Narcaned him, and that's why I did administer CPR, because he was warm. And I was like, if he's warm, he may still live, but yeah, it's crazy. Anyway, should I wait outside? Should I go inside? Yeah, okay. I'm gonna sit over there on the sofa. This is why I get a bad reputation, you know? I'm willing to do it. I will not leave a person's body there. I will not fucking let them rot or drag him to another camp and pretend that he wasn't here. And that's possibly what happened. There's very well that body could have been dumped here. I wish I knew who it was, because that person, maybe half an hour ago, went to the hot springs. I didn't see who it was because it was dark. But there's a young lady who's also a witness here who saw him, and she told me, hey, there's a guy sleeping right there in front of your house. Because occasionally that happens. Like, you know, it's summertime, people sleep outside. I sleep on my lawn sometimes. But I prayed with him. I gave him last rites. I talked to him the whole way. I held his hand. I gave him CPR. I gave him Narcan. I did everything I could do. I wish I would have just found him a little earlier. They're saying he could have been there for hours, but he was warm. That's why I was like, maybe I could save him. He's still warm. But he didn't respond to anything. Not to Narcan, not to multiple CPRs. He was already gone when I found him. I had to try though. Otherwise, I'll have nightmares for the rest of my life that I didn't try. So at least I tried, and I hope Stoney's family knows that, you know, Stoney didn't die alone, you know, and they're loved and respected, and they had last rites. And I talked to them, and I held their hand, and I think they might have a wife. I think he has a wife, because he usually goes with a lady to the hot springs. And somebody said that was his wife one time. So he probably has family in the slabs. I saw an elder walk by while the ambulance was here, so she'll tell everybody. I don't know if she saw who it was. Maybe she did. And she'll tell the rest of the community, and maybe his family will find out. Let's see. I don't want to see anybody die alone out here. That's the first time. There were 5 times before over the last 5 years where somebody wasn't breathing and I Narcaned them, but I got there right away and I never lost one. This is the first one. I've had friends die. I had a campmate die a couple years ago who committed suicide at the hot springs. I had neighbors die all the time, unfortunately, but never like this. No one. The last time I lost someone like this was in Brooklyn. A girl was at a party and I lived next door, and they knocked on the door and they told me somebody OD'd and everybody left, and I stayed because I'm not leaving her alone. And just like this person, I couldn't save them, but that was a long time ago. It must have been 10, 12 years ago, so it's been a while since I wasn't able to Narcan somebody in time, but I don't know how long he was there. The fact that he was warm, I thought that means he just got there. You don't have any shoes on or anything, so, you know, I mean, I walk with no shoes every day. I don't have no shoes on right now, but I don't know how far he came from, who he was with. Did they abandon him? Did they dump him here? Or did he come by himself? Was he looking for help? Was he going to the hot springs? That's the only time I ever see this person. You know, I just say hi when they walk past going to hot springs. So maybe that's where he was going. He collapsed and the lady thought he was sleeping. That's not unusual to see people sleeping like that. The only unusual part is he was in the road and not in the sand. That's why I went out immediately. You know, I thought it was one of my friends or whatever, you know. So I checked, but I was inside with the music on loud for hours. I've been cleaning my house and renovating the trailer all day and building new rooms in there. So I don't know, last time I went outside my house must have been afternoon. And it's probably, I don't know, 10 o'clock at night right now, maybe later. So the officer asked me to stay out here. I'm gonna stay out here in case I'm sure they're gonna have like a special investigator or a forensic person come out and coroner and give us the cause of death and the approximate time, and then we'll know more. In the meantime, it's me and the officer just hanging out with the dead slabber until more people come. Man, yeah, I did not have a phone. I've been using my computer. Phones die real fast out here in the heat. But I had this old iPhone, so I fucking ran inside and plugged it in, and man, it came on. And I had my little battery pack here, so I was able to keep enough charge to call 911 with no SIM card. Thank God I know that. A lot of people don't know that. Remember that. You could call 911 even with a cracked screen, with a broken phone. You don't need a SIM card. The SIM card could be out, and you could still call 911. Every phone is capable of that. This is why I give phones away to people. I've given almost 100 devices away in the last 5 years. That's what I do, and never charge $1 because of people like this. Try to find the ones like that, like the lonely ones. Also, besides the fact that they could call 911 if they need to, if they get hurt or something, or they're getting attacked or something. It saves me the trouble because if they're watching cartoons or listening to music, they forget that they're alone in the desert, and they don't go crazy and they don't start chasing after monsters that are not there, and you know, things like that. So I don't charge for the phones or the computers. I just fix them. I get as many broken ones as I can, and I fix them and I give them to people. Unfortunately, I never gave Stoney one. I didn't find anything on them. I didn't search the body. They have like a ring on and jewelry and stuff, but I didn't see any obvious identification or anything like that. It's okay, Wendy. It's okay. Wendy's number 35. You see her in some of my videos from even up to 4 years ago. She just walks by and she's her own slabber. I've been friends with her for almost the whole time I've been here. And she's the first one. She just became my dog. She refused to leave, and she won't let me give her away to anyone. She always runs back, so she lives with me now because she won't take any other answer. Well, I love her too. Everybody in the neighborhood loves her. She's spoiled. She's had multiple owners in the Slabs. Her first owner, Alien Mike, he died, and then Snow had her for a while. They had her next door for a while, but she just refuses to leave my side because I've always helped her. We've always been friends. Like, you know, if I see her walking by, I've carried her a couple of times when I find her in the summer, because the dogs, they'll hide in the guard shacks. If they get stuck somewhere, they go to the water, and then it gets too hot when they come back. They stay in the guard shack, and they wait all day until dark, because they can't walk. Their feet will burn. So I've caught her a couple of times like that and carried her and take her back here and put ointment on her feet and everything. Feed her when she's hungry, and now she's my dog because she won't take no for an answer. I tried to give her away. She runs back. She won't stay with anyone else, so I have to keep her. Man, Slab City stories. Oh shit, I hope I have my lighter, because I told him I wasn't gonna go inside. Nope. Wait a minute. I do, because I lit it on video. I found it. I don't own a mirror. I shaved my own head today. Get myself a hawk. Thirsty, but I didn't have a little bit of water left. Whew. I guess I'll upload this at some point because it's definitely an interesting video. And maybe I'll make another one if I find out anything, anything more, anything important. If anybody knows this person, Stoney's family, they can feel free to contact me. Unfortunately, I don't have a phone right now, but they could look me up on Facebook or comment on the YouTube video, or send me a message, or tell another slabber, and I'll tell his family everything I know, whatever little it is, so they could have some closure. Sorry that happened. It hasn't hit me yet because I've been in emergency mode, but I'm sure it's gonna hit me later. That's a person. That's somebody's child, and maybe somebody's parent. And I was so close. They were so warm when I found them. I don't know, maybe it's just the hot sand kept them warm, the hot road, because they were on the road when I first found them. But yeah, I had to try. At least I tried. If I didn't try, I would feel like a piece of shit. So I'm glad I tried. I wish I would have found them in time, because there's no, it doesn't appear hurt otherwise. Could be, it's most likely it's an overdose. I don't know what drugs that person does, but when I see somebody not breathing, I give them Narcan. They usually snap out of it. I didn't have Narcan with the first girl that happened in New York. The That's just why I carry Narcan, because I watched someone die 10, 12 years ago. And if I had Narcan, I could have saved her. But so that's why I always just keep it. I used it, last time I used Narcan was not that long ago, a couple months ago, on a young guy too. I have a child this age of this kid that I used it on. So that's why I keep it. That's why I always ask for it every time. But if the people come, I always say, please give me, and please give me extra if you can. When I have extra, I spread it around to different camps, because if you make it, you know, 5 minutes closer that you don't have to run to the next camp, is the difference between life and death for some people. You know, at least I was there. At least I held their hand, and I prayed with them, and you know, I try to treat the body with respect. But it's, yeah, I know it's gonna hit me later. You know, I guess it's I never Narcan somebody and watched them die. You know, the only time that happened one time in my life was I didn't even know what Narcan was. I don't do those drugs, so I don't know. But I learned, unfortunately, I learned here how to properly administer it, and you know, that's why I always keep it handy, because you never know when somebody's gonna need it. And Stoney, I don't know how old they are, but you know, maybe 40 to 50 or so. You know, they still got plenty of life ahead of them. You don't know who that person is gonna be in 10 years. They could, you know, yeah, doing drugs don't make you a bad person. Yeah. I don't care what drugs people do. I care what they do for their drugs and what they do on the drugs. That's what I judge them for. I know decent people who are heroin addicts, and I know sober people who fuck children. So it doesn't make or break you as a person what drugs you do. And nobody asked. That guy didn't ask for this. He didn't raise his hand in elementary school when they asked what you want to be when you grow up. He didn't say, I want to be a homeless, mentally ill junkie and I want to die of an overdose. He didn't ask for that. It's not his fault. So it's sad. I think he has a wife, because I seen him walking with a lady, and somebody said that was his wife. I thought that was a little weird. I don't know what Stoney's pronouns are. They're not dressed in men's clothing, so you know, I don't know them well enough to know what their pronouns are. But so that's why I'm saying he, because other people refer to them as he. But if somebody tell me to call them a she, they're she forever. Somebody tell me to call them they, they're they forever. I prefer they too. This is a great equalizer. You know? Man, it takes a long time. I would think they would come fast. I'm tired already. Oh, now all the adrenaline is gone, because the situation is almost over. But I'm fucking tired. I'm all alone here tonight, of course. Usually there's people here. Hey. It's moonless, pitch black. Hey. Man, he's heavier than he looks. He's heavier than he looks. He looks like like about my size. I carry railroad ties and stuff. Like, I could easily carry 150 pounds. Man, I carry my friends. I've carried multiple of my girlfriends to the hot springs. Like, oh, you don't have shoes, I'll just carry you a quarter mile. But I don't know what it is about a dead person, but they're very heavy. He was super heavy. I couldn't even see my house. So I just, dropped him and went to go fucking see where I was going. And it's sad. And I never gave someone CPR like that, and they die. And I had some close ones. Like, there was a guy in the projects, John. Oh man, the ambulance driver told me that one. He said he told him too that guy loved me for after that. I'm a lot less annoying when I give you CPR. The guy in the Bronx, he told me The ambulance driver told him when he got out, like, that guy saved your life. You would definitely not be alive. You would definitely not be alive if he didn't get you in time. Because I caught him, like, in the hallway. Just, that was the closest one I had, besides the girl. I didn't have Narcan. And everybody left that party too and left her. There was like 20, 30 people that time. And everybody left. And I stayed there. Like, you fucking assholes. I wasn't even at the party. I lived, you know, on the same floor. And they knocked on my door. And they were like, come help this person, because they knew that I knew CPR. But she died. But that's the last one I lost a long time ago. Never here. Never a dull moment in Slab City. So when we're done here, I'm gonna go up to the to Mike's place and I'll upload the video. That's why I didn't take any video of the body. I wouldn't do that anyway. That's disrespectful, I think. I don't, you know. This is not Mexican TV where they do that, or Puerto Rican TV even where they do that. I don't think it's right to film somebody's body. So I didn't film it. I just pointed the camera at me. And people like, that kind of shit happens while you live here. I live here because that kind of shit happens. Because I could save people like that. And get a lot of shit around here from both the fucking police and the slabbers, because they each think I'm fucking conniving with the other. But I call the cops when I have to. I don't call on every little bullshit, you know. But somebody died, or fucking arson or rape, some murder. You fucking I tell the police everything I know. When Poe died, I sat with the police for 3-4 hours down there, and because that's somebody's child. I told them everything I know. Well, I don't understand that part. Like, I understand people don't trust the police. The police out here are actually better. In New York, they brutalized me for my entire life. For no reason. I'm a good person. And just, fuck you, you're a piece of shit. And some of them do that here too. You fucking live here, obviously you're a fucking junkie, criminal, piece of shit. Which I'm none of those things. But I live here because of that. Because, you know, maybe I could have saved him. And there's other people that I did save. That kid 2 months ago, he definitely would have died. He definitely would have died. He knows it too. He told me he wanted to die. That's the sad part. But, you know, I Narcaned him anyway. You know, he ain't gonna die on my watch. Yeah, just it's like he was warm. That's what got me. That's what really, like, oh, that hurts. Because if I'd have found him already rigor mortis, then I know there's nothing I could do. But he was still warm. So, that hurts, you know, that, because then I feel like if he was still warm, maybe if I would have got there a little earlier, if I would have seen him, if I didn't have my music on, and, you know, who knows. I have a pretty clean record, so no one else wants to call the cops out here, but I don't know, maybe people even saw them. Maybe people saw him and knew he was there. The lady who passed, she said he was sleeping. She said, the guy's sleeping out here. So obviously she didn't know, because she didn't even sound excited. But I don't know how many people were passing, maybe saw it and were like, I'm not going to call the cops. That's a fucked up thing to do. That's a fucked up thing to do. Hi, Bear Bear. Hi, Bear Bear. This is Bear Bear. He was my friend for a long time too. His owner died too. And then his new owner's house burned down, right? So he's just kind of the neighborhood dog now, right? He always comes back. All the dogs come back. they know that he's gonna take care of them, right? I'm gonna leave you hungry. That's why I sit in the pile of dogs at the range. It's not magic, it's hard work. I know them all personally. Right, Bear Bear? You guys hungry? I got a can of salmon, you guys could share it. Oh no. Oh, he's the fluffiest fluffer that ever fluffed. Other dogs are out here. Nobody's home, so all the dogs are gonna come here today. In the morning, man, sometimes I have 20 dogs. I don't own a dog, but I open my door and there's 20 wagging tails out there. Looks like somebody's coming down from the desert out there, so maybe that elder told them. Maybe they're going a different way. I don't know. Maybe they're just nosy. I thought they were coming this way. I'm hoping his family comes. I know he lives out here with somebody. He don't live by himself. Yeah, somebody coming from over there too. Everybody's scared of the police. It's okay, Bear Bear. Bear Bear. What other dogs are out here? I know there's more dogs out here. Where are you guys hiding? Damn, Bear Bear and Wendy. Looks like there's another police car coming. Probably gonna run out of battery. My charge pack had just enough to charge the phone up, which I'm grateful for because I would have had to run 5-6 camps away to find somebody with a phone because Yvette's moving down to the canal where she can have water for the rest of the summer because she's ill. And a new person bring a trailer here. They're gonna fix it up for them, and my other 2 friends back there building a camp out there. So it just happened to be the day that nobody's around for a quarter mile. And there's another car here. I don't know if it's another police officer or coroner or... No, some of you guys may have heard I got arrested for something I didn't do a month or 2 ago. Yeah, right around the 4th of July, almost 2 months ago. Most of the police here, most of the deputies, they know that I do services here, and like the other elders back me up. Like Mojo will tell them that, and Andre will tell them that, and other people will tell them, yeah, he gets a lot of calls to his house because people fucking come here for help, which I want them to come here for help. But I guess this guy didn't understand that, and this person said I did something I didn't do, attacked them, which wasn't true. And thankfully, just like I did now, I usually record those things. So I recorded and I called 911 before I responded to the person. So the thing I got accused of supposedly happened during the 911 call, which they didn't know that I was already on the phone with 911. So when I got to the pre-trial, and the pre-trial was like, what the hell did they arrest you for? Like, it's ridiculous. This person's been arrested 30, 40 times in the Slabs, and they have like multiple restraining orders and stuff against them. They're in jail now again. But the guy just like asked some schizophrenic person, hey, did you see a fight? And they're like, oh yeah, I saw a fight. But they're schizophrenic. They didn't know what they're talking about. Like, this person literally like doesn't make sense when they talk, so it's silly. But I don't know if it was a new cop or somebody with whatever it was. But yeah, I didn't even see a judge. They like reversed the arrest. I heard the pre-trial tell the judge on the speakerphone, and the judge said, get that shit off my calendar and send him home. That's what they said. I didn't have to talk to a judge. I wasn't found not guilty. I didn't enter a plea or anything. They were just like, what the hell did you arrest him for? And they let me go. But I was still in there for like 48 hours or something. And they don't say sorry. They don't fucking give you any compensation. Thankfully, my neighbors saw what happened, and they guarded my home for me, because you're gone for 2 days. I could have came back and been robbed blind, for something I didn't do. That's the only time I've ever been arrested in 5 years, and that's even though, but the cops do get called a lot. I don't call them a lot. I call them, like I said, rape, murder, arson, dead body, like serious things. Otherwise, I'm not gonna call them on petty theft and fights and stupid things like that. Definitely not like loud music or dogs or anything. And I call 911 a lot for medical. Mostly that's what I call for. Like people with broken bones, or there was a big like Civil War fight here a couple years ago where some pretty hardcore guys were going at it, and I got injuries from both sides. That was hard too. People's heads cracked open and all kind of stuff. And you ask them who did this to you, and they won't tell you, because they consider it snitching, even though to me it's only snitching if you're in the gang. Like if I'm in cahoots with you, and and I tell on you to save my own skin, or I was down with the thing, but I give you up anyway. That's snitching, like you're betraying the trust of somebody you were, in cahoots with. But if I ain't in the gang, but that's reporting a crime, Most people don't feel that way around here, and I understand that. Like I said, I've been brutalized by the police my whole life. These California cops actually, like, they're nice. Some of them are. Some of the deputies are really good, and especially the ones I get to know, because they come here time and time again, and they see like, oh, okay, look what he's doing, like another injury, another airlift. After a few times, they're like, oh, this is the guy who does that, But I don't have much medical training. I have a couple CPR certifications, and just a lifetime of being the one who won't walk away from somebody hurt, or somebody in need. That's how I learned it, and then here I kind of honed it, because it's very in need, and other people do too. I wish a doctor would move to the Slabs. Man, we would treat them good. I know I would. I would make sure they are set up and everything they need. We have a couple of nurses, a vet, and people like me, like when Corn was here, they did a lot of first aid and a lot of stitching people up, and they fixed my back when my good NBC insurance couldn't do that for years. But I got some Rick Simpson oil from a blacksmith here in the Slabs, and Corn was like, my dad was a chiropractor, and I watched him do it for years. Lay on your stomach on the sand, and man, they just went, and I still have a little bit of back pain here and there, but it actually, like, between Slabbers treating me, they've treated me superior than my very good. I worked at NBC. I had top of the line insurance, And went for years. I got all kind of stuff, massages, chiropractors, MRIs, drugs, all kinds of things. And Slabbers gave me care that lasted and actually helped more than MECs. And it's not the first time. Right now, with my illness, I refuse to take the narcotic pain medicine that they give me. So I only tell them to give me, non-narcotic pain medicine, or maybe mild, like Tylenol with codeine is about as far as I'm willing to go, something like that. But I'm not willing to take, like, the heavy opiates that they would give you when you have severe pain like I have. So the medicine that I do take that they give me, that'll help me for a couple of days, and it still makes me loopy and stuff. But I have a guy here who's a medicine man, and he makes me little potions, and that helps twice as long and without side effects than the doctor's medicine. Like, I'm a scientist. I'm not one for, hocus pocus or like, obviously natural remedies are useful and real, but they don't make up for medical science. I use both if I can. I'm not gonna be like, hey, I'm not gonna go get the chemotherapy. If I needed the chemotherapy, I would get it in addition to natural remedies and see which one would work best for me. But in this case, in both of these cases, when I've had a serious injury or illness in the slabs, the locals were able to help me more than the hospitals. And I did go to the hospital both times, and the Slabbers treatment was more effective. So, there is something to be said for natural medicine. And I'm very grateful to the medicine man. I saw him yesterday. He comes and checks on me, once a week or every couple of weeks, and he gives me a couple of edibles and a little potion that he makes, and he told me what was in it, but I don't remember that much. But it's kind of like vitamins mixed with like all kind of stuff. There's a little bit of THC in it also, and that helps me a lot. It helps me manage pain better. So I just stopped taking the doctor medicine, because I'm gonna do what works best for me, and that works best for me. He lives up near the range, and if I'm in pain, I go up there, or I have a friend go get it for me, and my friends know, that he treats me. So if they see me, moaning in pain, they'll go up there and tell him, and he'll come down and make me a little potion, tell me drink it, and usually tastes terrible, but I feel a lot better for much longer than if I took the pain medicine. These guys know what they're doing. They've been treating people for a long time. Like I said, I'm not medically qualified, but this is why I took CPR first. I was a lifeguard when I was a young man. That's the first time I learned CPR. I used to do the summer employment youth programs in New York City. They take teenagers and they put them to work during the summer, and you could join the lifeguard program that way. So I did that. And then the second one I got in corporate, because anytime they're going to give me any kind of free training, I take it. And the third one was a infant and child CPR, because I had a baby, and if you're anything like me, you're like, the baby's so fragile and it could die at any moment, and if the baby has SIDS or something, I want to be able to help revive the baby. And even though I already knew CPR and had applied it successfully at that point, I took the program anyway, and I'm glad I did, because almost everything was the same except one critical thing. The instructor said something I'll never forget. Babies, you have to compress really hard, and you're going to break the ribs, and you're going to crack the ribs of the baby when you're doing CPR. So infant and child CPR is a little bit different. And the guy told us, if you don't break the baby's ribs, you're probably not going to save the baby's life. And as a father, I would never hurt a baby, even if I was doing CPR. And so he taught me, don't be gentle. You got to do it hard on a baby. And he said, we could fix dead ribs. We can't. We could fix broken ribs. We can't fix dead babies. So I never forgot that. Now, if God forbid the day ever comes where I have to do CPR on an infant or toddler, now I know that if you ain't cracking some ribs there, you ain't doing it hard enough. Which my natural instinct, I would have never, even a dying baby, and once I heard the ribs starting to crack, I would have lightened up on it. So now I know if I ever have to give CPR to a child, go ahead and do it hard. You're saving the baby's life. And, you know, that's what I'll never forget when he said, we could fix broken ribs, we can't fix dead babies. So don't worry about it. You know, make sure you do it hard enough to circulate the blood and you know, and breathe hard in them, like, you know, it's okay. So I'm glad I took that one, because pretty much everything was the same, but I needed just that one little lesson of, like, listen, you're saving the baby's life, don't be gentle. My natural instinct, obviously, is to be gentle with a baby, and I'm not going to hurt a baby, so I wouldn't want to break a baby's ribs. And I feel like, even if I feel like I would have thought that was too hard, right? If I were doing CPR on a toddler and I felt the ribs start to crack, I would have eased up, and that would probably not be able to save the baby. So I'm glad I took that one. And it just made me feel better as a father, knowing that if I find my child not breathing or unresponsive, or they stick a fork in an electric socket or some crazy thing that they do, or they eat some medicine that they're not supposed to eat, that I could, you know, do something and not be helpless. So I'm glad I took that one. But God forbid, I hope I never have to use it. I've never had to use it yet. I never had to administer CPR to even a teenager. Thank God, because that's still heartbreaking. That's a kid to me, like, you know. Poor Stoney. I talked to him a lot. I did. I said, don't worry, you know, don't worry, there's nothing to be afraid of. And, you know, if you're still there, you're going to go where everybody you've ever loved and lost went to, and I'm going to see you soon, and, you know, I'll give you a hug when we get there. And if it's good enough for everyone who came before us, it's good enough for us. So you don't have to be afraid, and I'm right here with you. And, you know, I prayed, and I sent the Spirit up, and I held his hand, and, you know, now I'm getting a little, like, emotional about it, because I was in adrenaline mode there, just, you know, first trying to save somebody's life, and then watching somebody die, and then having to call it in, you know. But now that I have a moment to sit, it's like, oh man, it's hitting me that poor person's dead. I'm looking at him right now, you know. You know, it doesn't look like he's in pain. He looks like he's sleeping. But, you know, I just feel terrible. Like, I wish I would have found you earlier. I told him that too. I'm sorry I didn't find you earlier. You know, it's probably just a Narcan, just a freaking. I could have saved him, because I don't see any injuries on him. He don't look hurt, you know. He doesn't look hurt. He just probably took too much drugs. Most likely heroin, or sometimes the meth has fentanyl in it too. That's why I don't know my hard drugs well enough. I just give them all Narcan. I don't care what they're on, because Narcan can't hurt you. So I figure, even if somebody has an accident and they're unconscious and I have a chance, I probably give them Narcan also, because maybe, you know, maybe it's actually the drug that killed him and not the accident. So I'm sleepy now. There's a second car there. And there's a couple officers talking over there. I just told them I will wait here. I guess they're waiting for a coroner. I am tired. I'll just tell the officer I'm gonna go outside for a minute. Hey guys, is it okay if I go get a bottle of water and a dog food? Yeah, I'll be right back. Oh, another car is coming now. They're, I guess, arriving. Ow! Oh, I left my light over there.